Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar, zero patience for slow walkers, those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night, have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Welcome to Puny Pod's Monthly Bugle for September 2025. My name is Ryan, and my co-host, as always, is David. David, how are we doing this fine Wednesday evening?
Dude, it's really hot here. I'm not gonna lie. Papa's a little warm, but you live in Colorado, so I can't really complain. I'm doing pretty well though. How are you?
Not too shabby. We keep getting touches of what I call false fall. We got like 60, 70 degree days the last couple of days, and over the weekend we got a couple of those. I actually was at the zoo on one of them. It was crisp and nice, but we're looking to get back up into like the 90s next week, so that's why we call it false fall. But yeah, it's we're getting that touch. We're getting close. Getting excited for the cooler weather for sure.
Conversely, in the Bay Area, we have weird microclimates, so like it'll be foggy and cold in July, and then just hot as balls at like October for some weird reason. So.
Oh man. Well, David, we are here to discuss the news of the Marvel world. For those who are not familiar, if you're tuning in for the first time, this is our Monthly Bugle episode. I know I've been on a couple podcasts talking about how these are some of my favorite episodes to record. This is the current news update. So we always do like current news here, and then in our quote unquote main show, we watch a Marvel movie from the MCU in release order. We are just up to what did we just record, David? What if season 1?
What if?
I need to get that edited at the time of recording. That it's not edited and out yet, but at the time of release, you should have already heard What If season 1. So, what if you hear it?
And if you haven't, pause the podcast and go listen to it. Download it, rate and review. Download it again, rate and review it again.
But here in the Monthly Bugle, we do like to cover the recent news. Typically, we like to start with current content, but there is none. We covered Eyes of Wakanda last month, and as we had been kind of discussing, there was a little bit of a lull here from the beginning of August when Eyes of Wakanda released to the end of September when Zombies releases. And so we'll talk about Zombies here in a second. Outside of that, let's get into it, David. Let's talk about Zombies. So do you want to talk a little bit about the premiere schedule, and then I can give a quick comic book primer?
What if I prepared like just an outline of The Walking Dead starting in season 1? Rick wakes up in the hospital bed.
Same writer, different series, sir. Same writer, but different series.
So this kind of picks up on the one zombie episode of season 1, episode 4 or 5. I think it was kind of right there in the middle. And I don't know if this series, I'm assuming the series kind of picks up where it left off. Because if you remember, It was like the cliffhanger. Janet had like sacrificed herself. Janet had sacrificed herself, got eaten by zombies. And it's, I'm trying to remember.
Futurama, Ant-Man.
Paul Rudd's head, Spider-Man, and a couple others. And they are like, they're basically like, tasked with like kind of Black Widow is there because we see her at the end of season 1. Anyway, so
and we see that when they get to Wakanda, they're headed to Wakanda with the Mind Stone because Vision has figured out that the Mind Stone cures the zombies, and they're headed to Wakanda. And the cliffhanger we're left on is Thanos is in Wakanda waiting for them with an Infinity Gauntlet short a Mind Stone.
Yeah, so it's not going to end super well. I think Bruce is still alive, I think, at this point in time. Do I have that right? Anyway.
Yeah, Bruce transformed into Hulk and is the last we see of him.
Oh, that's right. He's
fighting Scarlet Witch. I mean, he's impervious, so it'd be kind of hard to bite the Hulk, I guess, and turn him into a zombie.
Yeah, episode 5. Yeah, that was a fun episode. The author you mentioned before was Robert Kirkman, who wrote the Marvel Zombie comic series and who wrote The Walking Dead. So,
yep. So September 24th. So when you are hearing this, I will probably release this next Tuesday from when we're recording. So this will release like the day before Marvel Zombies releases. So if you're listening to this day of release, you can watch Marvel Zombies tomorrow on Disney Plus. Ka-ching. Disney, please send your checks too. All 4 episodes, it's a mini series, all 4 episodes drop on the 24th. Same thing they did with Eyes of Wakanda. I like this idea of like, let's make this really cheap content, right? Animation is notoriously cheap, and let's put it out in this mini series kind of way, and it plays into something that they explore in the comics, which I'll talk about a little bit here in a second when I talk about how Marvel Zombies work in the comics. But the idea of like one-offs or one-shots, those sort of things, I think this is a really cool way to explore the medium a little bit.
Yeah. And like you're saying, it's a little more cost-effective. It's probably, if it follows What If, it's probably, I don't know, 10, 15 million an episode, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, that was with, well, they have a stacked voice cast still on this one. I think most of the actors are coming back. So they're paying them, but yeah. So yeah, let's talk a little bit about the comic book origins of Marvel Zombies. So the idea of a universe where Earth was completely taken over by zombies was first actually thought up by Mark Miller. That name probably rings a lot of bells for folks in comic books, but namely, responsible for Civil War, as well as the Ultimates in the Ultimate, which is the Ultimate Universe's version of Avengers. He introduced the idea of this universe where Earth was completely taken over by zombies in Ultimate Fantastic Four number 21, July of 2005. Basically, it was a story where the Fantastic Four went to an alternate universe, and it was this universe. This reality was designated Earth 2149. Marvel liked this concept so much that it actually set to task with developing a limited series based on this reality. Marvel Zombies was born, and Marvel Zombies is the very first series was a 5-issue limited series published from December of 2005 to April of 2006 by Marvel Comics. The series was written by Robert Kirkman, as we mentioned. He's also responsible for The Walking Dead, also responsible for Invincible, which has a Amazon Prime show that folks might be familiar with the art by Sean Phillips, who does a lot of work with Ed Brubaker. That he's kind of Ed Brubaker's go-to artist. And then the covers were by Arthur Sudham, who is also known as the Zombie King. And actually, I have Marvel Zombies 1 through 5. I have the very first run, first editions, and I have Marvel Zombies 1 signed by Arthur Sudham. So his cover art signed by
That's cool.
the man himself. Yeah. Got to meet him. He was at Denver Comic-Con. He's a really quirky, really fun guy. He comes to Denver Comic-Con frequently, or at least used to. But he's a really, really great guy. Sat there and talked for a minute. He also, one of the things with Marvel Zombies comics is they for a lot of their covers or like variant covers, they've done redos of famous comic book covers. So like Spider-Man's wedding, or like the one where Spider-Man's carrying the guy under his arm, and some of those they've redone. He's redone those in zombie form, and so he's done a lot of work to make really cool kind of zombie style covers. So story of the reality, right? In this reality, a zombie contagion has infected the whole world, leaving everyone, heroes and civilians alike, with the hunger. But mostly they keep their minds and all of their superpowers. So think, they're not dumb, shambling zombies necessarily, but they hunger for flesh. In the first miniseries, Silver Surfer comes to Earth to herald Galactus's arrival, but is devoured by zombie versions of Captain America, Iron Man, Giant Man, Spider-Man, Luke Cage, the Hulk, and Wolverine. When they devour the Silver Surfer, they gain his powers. There's a whole lot of back and forth, including a zombie Hank Pym still being a jerk to zombie Janet Van Dyne and decapitating her. And zombie villains fighting zombie heroes. But ultimately, the zombie quote unquote heroes are able to eat Galactus when he comes to Earth and gain his power cosmic. When he. There is a survivor group in this reality, but they don't get a lot of focus. It's more focused on the zombies. The survivor group are made up of the Acolytes, so the mutant group, the Acolytes, which is one of Magneto's kind of folks, Forge, and Black Panther, who Black Panther's storyline in the What If episode pulls straight from his storyline in the Zombies comics. He's kept by Hank Pym as his personal snack. So a little bit different, right? It's not Vision keeping him to feed Wanda, but he is held captive as a personal source of food for somebody. Ultimately, the zombies become zombie galacti, and they basically become Galactus themselves. So the end of the series is like set 5 years later. The survivor group comes back to Earth to find it completely empty, completely devoid of any life. And you cut to like deep space where Marvel, where all the the zombie versions of all the heroes are going off into space to go eat more people. This miniseries was wildly popular. You can find merch for this series everywhere. You see it all kinds of places. It has inspired 15 other miniseries, including a cross-company collaboration with Dynamite Entertainment, who you might know because they published The Boys. They also have started to publish Red Sonja. And that cross-company collaboration is called Marvel Zombies versus the Army of Darkness, and it stars Ash Williams from the Evil Dead franchise. There's a couple of one-shot holiday comics, one that's like a zombie Christmas Carol and one that's a Halloween-themed one. They put out like a survival handbook. I know for a while there that was kind of like a popular thing for zombie media to do, is like how to survive the zombie apocalypse in this universe or whatever.
Yeah.
They've put out a novel, 2 mangas, and even a special edition version of the board game Zombicide, which I actually co-own with one of my best friends. And that actually came with Galactus, and the Galactus it came with is like 3 foot tall. It's massive, and I have a picture of Teddy standing next to it. It's hilarious, but so yeah, the zombie universe has also repeatedly kind of made its way into mainline comics. It's a canon universe at this point, and like occasionally you'll see things where like Black Panther has been transported to the zombie universe through like a storyline or whatever. So it is, it's a very popular side universe for Marvel at this point, and very lucrative, and definitely something that it's exciting. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there excited for this miniseries because of that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they had this plan for a very long period of time. So back in 2021, like middle of 2021, they said they were developing a slate of 3 other series. And this one was announced at Disney Plus Day in November 2021, which I did not know. I thought it was something that was like, oh, let's let's dig into the cushions of the couch and see what change comes up, and that's not it at all. So it's Brian Andrews, who did What If. He writes the story. It's story by him and a writer by the name of Zeb Wells, who was a comic book writer. Did Amazing Spider-Man, New Mutants. He did some work on Robot Chicken. And as a personal note, he went to Littleton, Colorado. He grew up in Littleton, Colorado, and attended Columbine High School. So, yeah.
Little fun.
Little local guy. Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
No, we don't know if it picks up at the end of the last episode of episode 5 from What If, but like,
Right.
what's your excitement level for this?
I'm pretty excited. Like, I mean, the hard part is it is going to be hard TVMA. They have made this every single trailer, every single everything has been, this is not for kids. Do not show your kids. Like, the first scene of like one of the more recent trailers was like Hawkeye putting an arrow through a zombie's head and it exploding into blood. So like, definitely this is not a Teddy watch. But I'm pretty excited. I love these comics. They're fun. I was definitely of that era. Like I was really involved with Humans versus Zombies in college, which is like a live action role play. And I remember, I mean, I was in college during like when Zombieland was coming out, that era of just like zombie everything. So I am pretty excited. I definitely like the zombie media and that sort of stuff. It's a fun genre to play with. So I'm pretty excited. How about you?
Yeah, I would say that it helps having just watched the series and just watched the episode.
Right.
It's like, oh, okay, I remember what's going on here. I did watch the first official trailer. It's hard to say because there's so many like fan trailers get put out, but I watched the first official trailer, and like you, the first thing I noticed was like, oh, okay, Teddy's not watching this for 14 years. And then I thought there were also like a fair number of spoilers. You see a lot of people die, but it all blurs together. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. I will probably maybe not binge them all end to end, but chunk of 2, then the other chunk.
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
Yeah. And check back here next month in the Monthly Bugle because we'll review it. That's kind of what we do. If you, again, every episode could be somebody's first. So basically our pattern is when new content releases, we talk about it on the Monthly Bugle the next month.
Yeah, and if you're really nice, we'll call you and we'll tell you what happens.
Hey, it's Paris. You know I love sparkly things, right? Like stars. Duh. And thanks to Hilton and AutoCamp, I just slept under them. Picture me, serving looks by the fire outside my luxurious Airstream, making s'mores with the kids, while a national park is our backdrop. The great outdoors meets Hilton hospitality. That's hot. Explore all the new ways to stay at Hilton.com. Hilton for the stay.
So as far as content goes, the Emmys were this weekend. Did you watch the Emmys?
I did not. I saw some of the clips. I mean, we're a Gilmore Girls house, so definitely saw the Gilmore Girls reunion that happened, but
I did not watch it either. I had a very, very busy weekend, but there were a number of I mean, I think this was like unofficially like 1,000 Emmy award categories, right? You and I could probably win an Emmy for podcasting. Like it's just that broad. The Disney series that was nominated and won was Andor, not surprisingly. It was great. It won for Outstanding Writing for a Drama Series, Outstanding Special Visual Effects, which if you're spending $25-30 million an episode, you would think. Right? Outstanding Editing for Drama Series, Outstanding Fantasy/Sci-Fi Costumes, and Outstanding Production Design for Narrative, Period, or Fantasy Program. So
Nice.
Congrats Disney. And if you haven't seen Andor, go check it out.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think John Williams, like the documentary about John Williams, may have won an Emmy or something too.
I struggle.
up.
Yeah, I struggle to find like a comprehensive list of all 1,000 Emmys.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't. I was, but
TV's deep. I have friends who have Emmys. They direct local news, and they have won Emmys for their direction on local news.
One of my daughter's friends, who's younger than me, a lot younger than me, but like has an Emmy as well, a couple Emmys, which to me is just kind of wild to me. Right?
It's maybe the easiest of the EGOT.
I was I'm so mad you beat me to the comment. Like, okay, what's your EGOT ranking? What's the most difficult to the easiest? Emmy's the easiest, right?
Yeah, Emmy's the easiest, and I want to be like, all to any Emmy listener who may be, or any Emmy winner who may be listening, because obviously we just talked about, we both have people in our our direct circles that have Emmys and like awesome, obviously huge achievement, and I don't mean to downplay that. I would say probably the most challenging, it's got to be like Tony's, right?
Really? You think more so than Oscar? I guess I take that back. You probably win an Oscar for like,
outstanding technical achievement.
Yeah, or like they're doing it for like stunt doubles and stuff like that. Tony's tough because you actually have to have some real talent, some real chops to do that.
Yeah.
So you think it goes Tony, Oscar, Big Gap, Grammy, because you can get a Grammy for like spoken word book and stuff, if I'm not mistaken.
We could get a Grammy for this. No,
we should get a Grammy at the very least. Big Gap and then Emmy. Okay, cool. Got it.
Yeah, and I mean all of those are better than anything we're doing, right? We're not even getting Webby. So here we are.
We'll see next year, man. I might grease some palms. So
yeah, so that's really cool, and I know that the Star Wars podcast also will talk about Andor a little bit. They're back up and running. Those guys over at Bantha Milk, they're in the trailer. I saw the lights on back there, so they're back up and running, and they got a new co-host.
Cool.
Nick got replaced by Teg's husband.
James.
James, thank you.
Oh, good. Yeah, I'll check it out. I mean, there are Star Wars content kind of ebbs and wanes, if you will, but we're kind of like entering some pretty good Prime content. So check it out.
Yeah.
Speaking of content, we don't have any real content, but there was a comment around Fantastic Four you want to touch on?
Yeah, let's talk about it. So announced yesterday, I think it was, at time of recording. So September 16th, I think, is when this was announced. Fantastic Four announced its home release. So end of the money. And I should update, David, you're going to have to buy me a little bit of time here in a second, because I'm going to update our...
Dude, don't worry about it, man. Like, let's save it for next time.
Let's save it next time. Our bet and see how we're doing. But, yeah, Fantastic Four First Steps. The movie came out July 25th. It will be available to release or to buy or rent on Tuesday, September 23rd. So day that we are recording, it will be available on digital platforms like Apple TV, Amazon, Fandango, those sort of things to buy or rent digitally. And then for folks who like physical media, aka Eric, the movie will release on Tuesday, October 14th on 4K, ultra high def, Blu-ray and DVD. And I saw that they've got like a steel book that it's releasing in special edition that like comes with a comic book and everything. I'm guessing it's like the in-universe comic book. But yeah, excited to get this one on home release. We don't have a date for Disney Plus yet, but typically it'll be a couple 2-3 weeks after the physical media release. So you're probably looking at like probably like Halloween-ish, end of October for a Disney Plus release on that one.
Okay. It's the thing that I still can't get past is just the really, really short window when you're in the theaters. That's September 23 to October 14th is less than 60 days. I think they say it's 45 is kind of like what the movie producers hope for. Do you know how long the first Star Wars was in the theater?
I don't, not off the top of my head.
So, in some cases it was, so I've seen various quotes. One said 43 weeks and there were some theaters that like a year later still had it. So now again, 1977, a little bit different than 2025, but I think that's one of the things that we talked about it before. I think that's one of the things that kind of tanks the box office a little bit because you and I could both be like, you know what, I'll just pop up in 7 weeks and it'll be on Disney Plus and I can just save the money. So maybe hopefully they'll tweak it. I know if you listen to The Town, which is a really, really great podcast, which focuses on Hollywood entertainment industry. Matt Bellany is like this really, really smart insider, if you will, and talks about, how the different studios have different expectations and, and he interviewed the AMC president recently and trying to like extract from him, like, you're going to be able to get like these common release windows. And it sounds like it's a bit of a challenge. Each studio is different, but I'm looking forward to seeing it again for sure.
Yeah. It's definitely, the way I've been describing it for everybody is like, once it's on home release, it's going to be one of those ones that you just flip on in the background on an afternoon and you kind of tune in and out of. You don't need to watch it exclusively, right? It's not gonna, you don't have to like key 100% in on it. You can just kind of watch it and have it run, and it can be just kind of nice.
Yeah.
Tune in for the fight scenes and the AI baby at the end. But yeah, so let's talk a little bit about our bet. I updated David. So Fantastic Four is officially the top performing Marvel movie of the year. As of right now, it is at 519,090,725 it got beat by Toy Story's re-release this last weekend at the box office.
Good God, what are we doing here?
Yeah. Superman is coming in at 615 million plus some change.
Yeah, that James Gunn is just like,
he's
super pumped. He is like, I don't think he's loving 615, but I'm sure he's like, well, we beat them by 20%. Right?
Yeah, he's loving beating Marvel. Now, granted, there's one DC movie versus 3 Marvel movies, and so if you do a little bit of math, they are doing all right. And then Captain America: Brave New World, which is what you took, coming in at 415 million. That one's pretty much that one's done. It's on Disney Plus. It's not gonna earn any more.
Well, I'm hoping for a little Christmas re-release. Just let's not jinx it.
And then as far as our TV shows go, I picked Daredevil Born Again as the fan favorite. It's last time I checked Rotten Tomatoes, it was coming in at 80% fans score. So we'll take its score at the end of everything, just so everybody knows that's how it's going to go. We'll pick it at the end. And then Wonder Man is coming in, not too much buzz. We don't have really trailers for it yet. We'll see. we'll see. I mean, it's it's the only live action Marvel TV show on Disney Plus this year, so we'll see. I get the critic score on that one. And then jumping over to your TV shows, Eyes of Wakanda is getting review bombed. 52%, which is far lower than it deserves.
Yeah, I'm gonna call in my auditors to do an internal investigation because I am not buying what is Rotten Tomatoes is pushing out. And until such point in time, I refuse to comment publicly until the results of the audit are done. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. Ultimately, it's just how much money does
yeah, it really boils
stupid,
down to because right now, I mean, I'm at like 907 ish, 907 million points, if you want to call them that, or dollars, however you want to call it. Once all the math's out, that's where I'm at, and we'll see what Wonder Man does. I mean, Wonder Man could tank me. Wonder Man could do a number.
It'll be fine. It's all revenue at this point in time. That's ultimately it. Like,
and then you're at 535 million points. So, you're getting each dollar is worth 129%. So I don't know. I can't do the math right now for what you need.
I didn't realize we would be doing a lot of heavy might on the podcast. I might have calculated this before.
Yeah. But I think you need, like, let's see, what happens if you get 500 million? Let's find out here real quick. Let me just do a what if. So if you get $500,000 and let's say Wonder Man, let's give it a 75. Let's say it does well on Metacritic. I do win. If you get $1 billion, if Avatar can crack the billion mark, you win.
Yeah, not worried about this. We have this in the bag. Did like the last one, like they're all not fantastic in my opinion. I think the last one did like 1.8, I think, and the other one was the highest grossing movie of all time. So even if you discount it by the 2025 premium, so you basically shave a third off of it, should still do $1 billion. It's coming out at Christmas time. People are going to be people love that stuff. I have no idea why. No idea. Yeah. Anyway, so we'll see.
Yeah, it's way tighter than last year. I will say we did a good job of tightening up the rules a little bit because, oh boy, last year was a blowout. And so I am very glad that it's tighter. It makes it more exciting this way.
Yeah, well, I'm also glad you didn't take advantage of my charity this year, but I'm just kidding. So yeah, it'll be fun. We'll see how it goes. We'll update as we get further along. And like I said, my accountants will be looking at the final numbers. So, real quick things before we wrap up. Just wanted to have like an In Memoriam moment for, like beloved American actor, Robert Redford, who passed away I think it was Sunday, maybe just a couple days ago. He famous for so many different roles. It does intersect, obviously, the MCU because he played Alexander Pierce in Captain America's The Winter Soldier. And then he reprised his role in Endgame, which was his final on-screen appearance as it relates to the big screen. It wasn't his final filmed one. But so he appears at the end where the Avengers victory. So, it's 2012 all over again, and it features him at Stark Tower. So yeah, like it's kind of bummer, man. Like Robert Redford, I remember when he was really young and just like this, just vibrant actor and then famous director, and just seemed like just seemed like a really cool guy. So
yeah. My favorite thing in the wake of his passing has been people realizing that there's
stop!
that gif of the guy nodding. The best
Not,
beard. There we go.
we'll have to add that. We'll have to add, because it was like, I thought that was Zach Galifianakis. Like, no, it's not Zach Galifianakis, but it's fine. And then to kind of preview some stuff, I think you and I talked about diving into on some of the episodes, diving into, offering some extra content, diving into, slightly different things like drafts and lists and, great debates and all that kind of stuff. One of the things I saw recently is that ScreenRant recently updated their definitive list of the top 37 MCU movies. So not shows, just MCU created movies. So, for example, Craven was not eligible for the list, sadly enough. I'm going to ask you, can you guess the top 3? What do you think are the top 3? This is ScreenRant. So ScreenRant is pretty plugged in. This is not like, People Magazine publishing,
sure.
right? You know what I mean?
Endgame.
Number 3.
Okay. Infinity War.
Nope. Not in the top 3.
That's kind of surprising.
Infinity War was, if I can look at it, I can type the word Infinity War. Hold on.
Well, David's looking this up. I will just make, a quick kind of heads up for everybody. I know David mentioned some extra content. I think in 2026, we are going to look at the content we're doing. And we'll probably make a little bit more of a bigger announcement about this later on when we do like year in review and some of those, or year in preview, that sort of stuff. But something we're realizing is like we're catching up to the content now. I don't think we're not necessarily on a path, like a collision path, to where we're reviewing brand new content. But we're catching up to a point where like the movies and TV shows have not had enough time to breathe, to have like all the fun Easter eggs that we like to talk about and all the like things that get pulled forward from them that really makes our show great. And so we are looking at like, how can we stretch that out a little bit, right? What other content can we do? And there's been a lot of ideas that David and I have kicked around. Some debates from the MCU, maybe some reviews of non-MCU movies, right? There's a ton of Marvel content out there that's not the movies from the MCU, like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So we'll be doing a year of it. No, I'm just kidding. But there's other movies out there like the X-Men, the Fox X-Men movies, and there's also some cool people we want to talk to and nerd out with. And so we've been doing a lot of thinking, and I just, so the listener knows, we're going to be releasing maybe not all this, maybe we'll back off from the movies a little bit, but I hope that you guys enjoy it, and we definitely want feedback. So as we kind of start to experiment with the content a little bit more, please give us feedback, because I think that's going to be super key as we go forward, is like what resonates with you guys. What do you guys like? What do you not like? Because we're going to get, I definitely think we are too close. We're too close into the content right now. And so we need something to back it off and slow it down just a little bit.
You're going to like it, and you're not going to complain about it. The other thing what I do, one slight point of contention. I had suggested recording all our podcasts at 0.25 speed and then breaking them up in chunks, and therefore you could listen to it over a period of a month. But no. All right. So Infinity War was number 11. So going back to the list, Avengers Endgame is number 3.
Let's go Marvel's The Avengers.
Marvel's The Avengers came in at number 5.
Wow. Oh boy. I'm gonna guess 2 more, and if they're wrong, let's get on with it.
Yep.
Iron Man 1.
That came in at number 4.
Okay. And let's say let's go with Spider-Man No Way Home.
Spider-Man No Way Home is number 6.
Okay.
So the 2 you missed. Number 2, Black Panther. Makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Number 1, Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
That's not an uncommon take. I don't know that I necessarily agree with it, but not an uncommon take.
It's a really good movie, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree with you. Like, it's not, you would not think of it as number. You'd certainly be like, oh yeah, top 5, top 8. Yeah, you nailed it. You got them all. It's like, well done. Or you got the top 5, 3 of the 5 of the top
3 of the
6,
top 5 or something.
4 of the top 6. Anyway. So yeah, we'll review the list. It'll be fun to explore like the middle part. I think everyone agrees on the bottom part, but just to the hot take, like Infinity War was 11. I was like, I don't know about that. That seems kind of disrespectful. Well, we'll talk about it. So
yeah. So be on the lookout for some of that. Where like I've also got some like Watch Mojo lists cached that I want to see what David thinks of those, and you know there may be some of that stuff coming out in the near future. In your podcast app. We also have some friends who really like to nerd out about costumes and set design and stuff like that we'd love to get on to talk about some of their favorite pieces from the MCU. So be on the lookout for that. And along with that, I already mentioned one of the shows on the network, but listen to all the other shows on the network. Quick plug for myself. I am a travel planner with Concierge. If you need to do any travel, whether it's to a theme park or otherwise, please reach out to me. My email is rhardon, RHARDON @concierge.com. You can also find my social media, which is Tomorrowland Travel Authority, and I'm on Instagram, and you can private message me there or whatever, and I'm happy to get something going for you and your family. Beyond that, check out our socials for the show. We are the Puny Pod on Instagram. We're on TikTok. We're on Facebook. We actually posted a video of us in the parks. We were just in Disney parks and got to hang out, and we posted a video to our Instagram and TikTok. So go check that out. It was a really funny one. I actually, there's a moment in it where David breaks, and it gets me every time I watch that video. I'm like, ha!
Which one is it?
The video we recorded. When I do the bathroom. When I'm at the bathroom.
Yeah. Okay, I was about to ask where. Yeah.
Yeah, you crack up, which it's great. But yeah. So go check those out. And then our next movie that we'll be recording, which I am so excited to get to. Like we're hitting some pay dirt, which is why it saddens me to slow down, because we're hitting some really fun ones. But is what it is. But our next movie that we record will be Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. Enough said.
ABC Wednesday, Shifting Gears is back.
He has arisen.
Tim Allen and Kat Dennings return in television's #1 new comedy.
What?
With a star-studded premiere including Jenna Elfman, Nancy Travis, and...
Hey, buddy!
A big home improvement reunion.
Welcome.
Oh, boy.
That guy's a tool.
Shifting Gears, season premiere Wednesday, 8/7 Central on ABC, and stream on Hulu.